After a 4-year-long hiatus, Netflix's Black Mirror has finally returned with Season 6 and 5 new episodes for us to enjoy. Is enjoy the right word? But since this show is made up of standalone story episodes, it felt like a great time for a rank video. So let's dive in. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Joan's Vibes. And Black Mirror is back, man. First off, hit the like button if you've now seen Season 6 of Black Mirror in its entirety. Honestly, I'm going to be talking a lot of spoilers, so if you haven't, this is your warning. But I finally got around to finishing all 5 episodes, and man, there are some bangers in this season. Black Mirror's quality has never really wavered. From Season 1 on, it's provided us with some of the trippiest and mind-bending content imaginable. And in a world where we are now dealing with AI and insane technology advancement, sometimes things hit pretty close to home. And something that I love about this show is that the stories that are told are not just about throwing us for a loop. There's always a very real and raw story at the center. But yeah, I thought it would be a good idea to give these episodes a rank from worst to best, especially after watching them all. And I'm also curious to hear what y'all think. So feel free to let me know, and let's get going, shall we? First up at number 5, I'm going with Loch Henry. A young couple travel to a sleepy Scottish town to start work on a nature documentary, but find themselves drawn to a juicy local story involving shocking events of the past. And with this show being as good as it is, last place in this rank isn't really a diss by any means. I enjoyed this episode, but just not as much as the rest. The twist with the mom and dad being involved with the torture killing was pretty insane, but I think the ending just fell a little flat for me. I was expecting things to get way more intense than they did, but all in all, it was a solid ride. It just wasn't my favorite. But on to number 4, and that for me would have to be Joan is Awful. An average woman is stunned to discover a global streaming platform has launched a prestige TV drama adaptation of her life, in which she is portrayed by Hollywood A-lister Selma Hayek. And I feel like I could get some flack for this, to be honest. I haven't seen too many reviews on the season yet, but this seems like it could be a fan favorite type episode, but it just wasn't my favorite. Compared to the other episodes, this one felt the most Black Mirror-y, if that makes sense, with the multiple dimensions and realities, but it just didn't blow me away like some of the others did. It was a fun concept though, and I always love seeing Michael Cera and Selma Hayek. Like, it was just great. But on to the top 3, and starting at 3, Demon 79. In Northern England, 1979, a meek sales assistant is told she must commit terrible acts to prevent disaster. And wow, dude, this episode was really well done. Clocking in at like an hour and 15, you really get a feel for Nita's life. And then this demon turns her into a killer, and I honestly didn't think that the apocalypse thing was going to be real, but similarly to some recent movies, it was. And I don't know why that ending is satisfying. It shouldn't be, but I loved it. And moving on, my number 2 has to be Mazey Day. A troubled starlet is dogged by invasive paparazzi while dealing with the consequences of a hit-and-run incident. And this episode was well acted and well executed, but it's in my top 2 purely because of the twist. I'm a big fan of the supernatural, and you're sitting there only thinking about them getting this damn photo and getting paid, and then Maisie turns into a freaking werewolf and kills everyone. That was so badass. The final shot with Zazie Beetz' character raising the camera is just one of the coolest final moments of any Black Mirror episode. I don't know, maybe y'all weren't as surprised as me, but it threw me for an absolute loop. Talk about a hairy situation, am I right? But down to my final episode, number 1, on top of the podium, is Beyond the Sea. In an alternative 1969, 2 men on a perilous high-tech mission wrestle with the consequences of an unimaginable tragedy. And bro, this was so good. It was feature length too, and with actors like Aaron Paul and freaking Josh Hartnett, I was enthralled from the beginning. There's this mixture of drama and romance, but also horror. And shout out to that cameo of Rory Culkin. I'd imagine my Scream fam were all stoked to see him. But after him and his followers cut apart David's life, Josh Hartnett's character, he loses it, and then he falls for Cliff's wife and wants his life. And then since Cliff won't let him use the link again, He takes his replicant and then takes from Cliff what has been taken from him. Like, gosh, man, just the harshness of this plot and also the strangeness living in someone else's body. It's absolutely insane, and I loved it. I really, really did. It was a beautiful episode. All 5 episodes were fantastic. I've honestly just kind of grown to expect that anytime a new season of Black Mirror comes out, they're really not going to miss with any of them. But solely when just talking about season 6, I gotta say, I'm a big fan. This might be my favorite season. They heavily leaned into horror this time around, which I appreciated greatly. But I'm curious to know what you all think. How does my rank compare to yours? Please let me know down in the comments and leave some good vibes. Also, if you stuck with me this far, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate that support. It means more than you know, and also I'd love to see you come back. So hit subscribe, and if you're looking for more movie and television talk, I'll clip some at the end so you can keep on watching. But Black Mirror Season 6 is here, and I can't wait for more.
Jones vibes.